I do.
Well, I've seen him in his other profession,
Yeah.
and he had handlers there too.
Well, totally, and and that's that's who I am. Like I'm just a normal guy. Like
Just,
I'm not.
you just wanted.
Who needs a handler?
I'm not I'm not a politician. Like I'm not. Like
He's
I'm
a big deal. That's
No.
why he needs a handler.
I mean,
It's a very big deal in
So I
Winnipeg.
don't get in trouble. That's why I have a hand.
Just yell
Every
out.
once in a while,
Bobby, shut
we
up.
just hear from the peanut gallery. Don't slouch, Obby.
Yeah.
Don't slouch.
Stop it. Stop it.
Pronunciate.
Obby, I
Slow
texted you the answer.
down.
Exactly. Picking up one of my.
Just take it on air. We'll just keep rolling.
Is your assistant Milt Stiegel? Because then you can take it.
It should-
Otherwise, no.
No, Milt Stigl's a little mad at me because I'm not paying him royalties for his
Stiegel
Stiegel salad.
salad.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking of replacing that with the Westwood something. Westwood
Wide
Winer.
left?
Oh, yeah. Oh. We should save the stuff for air.
It's on air. We're already recording.
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
So Westwood's been bugging me for years to get one. So I'm not putting a kicker on the.
Yeah.
I'm not putting a kicker on the menu. Get out of here.
You know what you do? You get one of those two
Yeah.
two box things, right?
Yeah.
And then you just put stuff on the left.
On the left side.
And the other side's just empty. And put the goalposts on the other side.
Hilarious.
I didn't realize Troy was still a personality.
Well, that's what I said. I said, you're a kicker. I said, I don't know if anyone really likes you or liked you ever. But he does support the business probably more than Milt and Doug do. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it'd be nice to give the guy a bit of a kickback. So
He Milt's in Georgia though, isn't he? Isn't he in
He is.
Atlanta?
Yeah, but he comes in town quite often though, for
Yeah.
whether it be event, and that's the good thing about Winnipeg, right? Like,
Yeah.
Now that we have the direct flights, right? WestJet flies direct at
Directed at
Yeah.
Atlanta right now.
yeah. Who's the minister in charge of that when that all went down? Do you guys know how that who was involved in that?
For what?
Like, being involved in that, the direct flight to LA and Atlanta, and
Must be somebody that has a house down there.
no, I think
They have one
it
to
was-
Chicago now, actually, too.
Yeah, that was
Really?
Yeah, that was just recent.
Did they announce that one officially yet?
I think so, yeah.
Looking at it, yeah. So
Yeah.
The previous minister I know was looking at all that stuff, working hard at it. It was me, guys. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh,
You actually...
Well, I was involved in that process. Like I wasn't the only one involved. It was a whole.
I actually had no idea that a minister is involved in
in the WestJet
in an
process.
airline committing certain flight routes.
I knew the government was
direct.
involved with the airlines.
Well, I mean, yeah, for sure we are, right? And,
Yeah.
and why the benefit of that for the province would be tourism, right?
Yeah.
Dollars. You're getting economic growth from that, right? Like these are the type of things that we were working on previously, right? So the LA flight is huge for movie industry. Especially when we have the best tax credit under the previous government in all of Canada, right? So the hardest thing was, well, how do we get people up to Winnipeg to work? Well, you got to go to Seattle, then you got to go to Vancouver, then you got to hop on a plane to Calgary, then you got to get it. No one's doing that.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves isn't doing that, or Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I
And
called
neither are
called
the-
both of them, and they both said, "Obby, you get a direct flight, we'll do it."
What's Cruz's phone number?
Yeah, if you
Can you
want,
can you call
we
him?
put it on the bottom here
I mean, no, he doesn't like to be called on Mondays.
on the days.
just on Mondays. If it was Tuesday, I could call him. You guys got to bring him back on a Tuesday show. I'll call Tom.
We'll have a part 2 of the show tomorrow, man.
And we are here now.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. We're here with Obby Khan, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber,
Now current.
owner of Shawarma Khan, the
Correct.
best Stiegel salad that I've had in my life. The only Stiegel salad I've had is from Shawarma Khan.
Yep.
And MLA for Fort White.
That's
Fort
right.
White.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
I like, I don't get to do a lot of fun interviews anymore. I did them a lot when I played, right?
Yeah.
Or when I was in business and entrepreneur and chamber and all that stuff and community events. But in politics, they're not a lot of fun, kind of let loose, show your, who you really are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of Manitobans know, with my history here in the province, but so I'm very much looking forward to this.
So we, I've recently, and I'm just looking at your beard.
Yeah.
It's very distracting because it's very full. It's
Thank
very
you.
manly.
Thank you.
I think he beats
And,
both of us.
And I've just recently started growing out a beard.
Yeah.
And my wife said, give it a try.
Looks great.
I have until 18. Well, thank
You
you
don't have
very
to lie
much.
to him.
No, it does.
Yeah. But
As does yours.
Thank you. I appreciate
You got a
that.
ginger and a gray thing going on.
Yeah, well, what we were described this at Texas Roadhouse last weekend was Tim's is black with chrome, and mine is red with chrome. And red doesn't go with chrome as well as black does.
It goes well with those pants. I don't know if we can see those on air. They're kind of
You can see everything.
You can see them from space, yeah.
You don't like my pants?
No, I love them. They match the beard. It's great.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, so the beard's a good look. The beard's a good look.
Thanks very much. It kind of goes into the first question I wanted to ask you. Being that you are a professional or former professional football player, you run a business which is a restaurant, so you're around food a lot.
Yeah.
And you're a politician.
Yeah.
And typically when people get into politics, they slowly start to gain a little bit of weight, a little extra handles, but you've managed to stay lean, trim, and and we talk about health all the time.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to stay in shape?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I'll get you your $20 off air for opening the show with that. So if anyone else heard that, thank you. It's really, I mean, I want to joke and say it's a ton of stress in this job, right? So stress either forces you to eat or forces you to work out and blow off some of that steam. So I love working out. I think working out in the morning is the only way to start your day. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm downstairs in my little gym in the basement, and I do a workout, and then I start my day. And then I try to stop eating by 7 o'clock at night. Like the hardest thing is just stopping at night. So I've actually done that for the last couple of years, and the weight's kind of come off. Like I don't think my body didn't want to be 305 pounds. Like that was hard. I would have to wake up in the middle of the night and eat.
To bulk up.
Yeah. And you'd eat like before practice, after practice, you'd have a pre-dinner dinner, then a pre-dinner, then a dinner, then an appetizer, and then dessert after. Like it was a lot of food.
Yeah.
So I really think and I only do about half an hour, 45-minute workouts. So it's not crazy. It's just consistency. Playing hockey twice a week. I do play hockey.
Oh, wow.
Ice hockey. People are blown
hockey.
away. I mean, in
What
Canada, we
what
play
other
hockey.
kind of hockey would you be playing?
Well, I mean, people look at me and
Like
they
field
go,
hockey? Like the
Well,
girls'
maybe,
hockey?
yeah. Like, I mean, I'm
hockey.
East Indian, Punjabi. We play a lot of field hockey.
Do
So,
you? Really?
yeah, well, I don't, but like,
I could.
generally,
I don't, but I could.
it's in my genes somewhere. But people are shocked when I go hockey. They go, ice hockey? I go, yes, ice hockey. I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
I grew up playing hockey. I love it. So I play hockey twice a week. I got a great Doug Brown story about that.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
Well,
yeah, let's just get into it.
let's
Go
get
ahead.
right
Let's
into
hear
it. Right now?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Go shoot.
Oh,
We don't like to forget about things. So
Okay, so I play hockey every Sunday and every Wednesday night with there's 15 guys, the same guys. I don't play beer league. I went to 2 beer league games after I retired, and
You fought everybody.
No, everyone wanted to beat me up. Like Obby Khan, you think you're a tough guy? No, I don't. I'm not a hockey player. As you can see, I don't know how to stop left. I can only stop right. And guys would literally it's all I'm Obby Khan. They want to take your shots at you. They want to bump you, and so 2 games was done. So I play with a bunch of we actually call it hockey night in India.
okay.
Because it's mostly Punjabi guys that play.
Yeah.
Doctors, lawyers,
Real estate agents.
You have real estate agents, politicians. The mayors come on and played with us. So just all buddies. Someone falls, we stop.
Okay.
Are you okay? No slap shots, no contact. So we're playing and
Full equipment though?
Full equipment,
Okay.
full gear. Yep. And so we're short a guy, so I call up Doug Brown. Hey, Doug, you want to play? Sure, I'd love to. I go, Doug, we're all friends though, okay? There's no hitting, there's no contact, no slap shots. Okay, I'll be good. I go, but Doug, I invited you out, so don't make me look
You're
bad.
his guest.
Yeah, and he's really good. In his credit, he's really good. He's also 7 feet tall.
I know. We had him in here.
So I
Hitting
don't
his head on the ceiling here.
I don't think he's that good of a football player, but he's 7 feet tall. When you're 7 feet tall, you're going to be good at that, right? So he comes out and we're joking around and we get playing. We're on the same team and it got a little bit pushy. Guys are pushing and Doug comes off. That guy's pushing me. I said, Doug, just relax. We're all friends. Next shift again, same thing kind of happens. There's other guys pretty good on the other team, and
They're trying to give it to him a little bit.
people
probably,
like to
eh?
give it to Doug and I, right? They want to. And again, and Doug's coming off. He's getting mad. I'm not allowed to swear on the show, am I?
You can.
You can.
No,
We'll bleep it
I'm
out.
looking at my handler. He's like, no, no,
bleep it out. Don't worry.
no swearing. It doesn't look
We
good.
bleeped him out.
So Doug is very upset using some explicit lyrics.
Yeah.
And
Some Taylor Swift lyrics.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the shift before, this guy gives it to him pretty good in the boards and kind of rubs him out, and Doug goes down. Doug, relax.
That's
Relax.
a long fall for him, though.
It is long.
If he
fall.
went down.
7 feet tall, it hurts.
Down goes Brown.
Right? And he comes off, and I said, just relax. And I can see he's got his eyes. The next, you remember Rock and Sock'em 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On 5, the glory days?
The old Don Cherry videos.
Exactly. Guys coming up the boards, and Doug just hip checks him. on the boards by the bench, but Rock'em Stock'em style into the post, like, the end of the bench, into the post, grabs the guy, throws him to the ground, starts yelling at him. And everyone's like, what is going on here? So needless to say, Doug Brown has been banned from Hockey Night in India. He's no longer allowed to play with us.
He's no longer an honorary Punjabi.
No longer an honorary Punjabi in our hockey league. So that's my Doug Brown story.
Did you get in trouble for bringing him around? Like the capo?
Yeah, I'm still paying fines on that. So I'm still here about it all the time. It's one of those stories. And, and that's the thing about like being a professional athlete for so long, right? Like, especially in football, like we went from calm, collected in the huddle, listening to a play, to going out and smashing a guy, to immediately turning it off, coming back to the huddle and calm, collected, and myself as a center, especially because I had to call defenses and fronts and blitzes, and depending on the quarterback, sometimes I had to tell the quarterback where to throw the ball and what to do. So it was a little dicey, but you go from like 100 to 0, 100 to 0. So on the ice, we kind of have that a little bit of same mentality.
Yeah,
from 0 or 100.
That's it.
Yeah,
all in or not.
That's we'll send this clip to Doug Brown and get a confirmation on this too, right? So
send it to him, please do.
Doug,
I love you though. If it was just me and you, I'd let you come play hockey with me anytime.
It's all about the love, right?
All about the love.
I just see you versus him in hockey, just the two of you.
No, he's way better than me. Doug was a phenomenal athlete. It still is a phenomenal athlete, right? And a lot of guys that played in the CFL were just all around amazing athletes, right? Whether it was soccer or football or basketball or hockey, ice hockey. We could kind of do it all, right? Yeah. So translating that's pretty. But Doug was a phenomenal athlete and also a giant and a really good guy, and he's done great things in Manitoba here now as well.
Yeah, and he's also slimmed down.
Yeah,
like I think that's kind of like a trend for you guys that were on the line. You guys are all. You had to bulk up to play football, and now you've all slimmed down because you can go back.
Well, you go either way. Yeah. You either go from like 300 to like 240, 220, or you go to 400.
Well, my assumption is because like you said, you had to get up at 3 to bulk up. You had to eat these things because you're in a sport where you needed to bulk up, and then when you retire and you're going from this down to this. You just can't do that. So I assume if you keep some of those habits, you would end up being what you said, being
exactly.
But now you have to change your habits.
Plus, let's give him a plug for his restaurant.
Yes,
right. There's
healthy,
some healthy
food, totally.
Right.
I had it for lunch today.
Did you?
I had the low carb Obby plate. It's not on the menu, so we haven't put it up there yet. But it's literally just salad and some chicken.
Right.
And I've ate that every day for the last like 11 years, other than Sundays, which were closed on, which really makes me upset.
And you brought the platter here, right? We had said for the show. Was it somewhere in the back? Is it in the vehicle? Where is that?
What happened?
Did that?
I thought we talked to.
We'll have to fire someone.
Yeah, we'll talk to somebody.
We'll get to, you guys are a little bit outside the delivery range.
Can we get the Tim and Greg salad? Or the Greg and Tim salad.
Yeah, that's been a controversial topic. Like we just can't add more menu items to the thing. It's tough. Milt's already mad at me. I'm not paying him a royalty.
Yeah. No, you do. Pay his son.
Milt's son.
Pay Chase.
I could.
He's an athlete too.
I mean, Chase and Hunter. I mean, I all knew those kids when they were babies.
Don't give him a lot of money, but just give him a little bit, just to make Milt feel
5 cents or something.
yeah, for every salad.
I agree. We'll see how many ratings this show gets. If it gets a lot of ratings, then maybe we can work on something on the menu. Maybe like one pita chip is one of you guys, and the garlic sauce is the other guy.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound great at all.
You have to be the garlic. You dip it in the garlic sauce. It's good.
I like the onions. The onions you put on the Stiegel salad. That's my favorite.
It's all
the
good.
The pickled onions.
Pickled turnips.
Oh, yes.
People think it's onions, radishes, it's turnips.
Oh, okay.
Pickled turnips.
I was wrong.
It's delicious.
Every time we go to the game, my wife gets the Stiegel salad. Like, it's without a doubt. She's like, we get there early enough. We go get in the main restaurant line because we want to eat it while we're watching the warm-ups and everything. Got to get there early because there's always a lineup. She gets that, and I get the Wrath.
Yeah, the Wrath of Khan.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Because I'm a bigger guy.
You carry it very well. Along with the beard and the pants. It's a good look.
Well, that's why I have the beard.
Yeah, it's good.
And he has the whole athletic career. He's got to upkeep.
100%. You guys should come play hockey. Do you guys skate?
A little bit.
We can skate, yeah.
We're not Doug Brown quality skaters.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, though. We saw what happened with Doug. He hasn't come back.
We would love to come back.
If you guys want to come on one day, we'll see what we can do on a Sunday or Wednesday.
That would be fun.
Just no contact.
We wouldn't. Well, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm can skate well enough to contact.
Wow, you fit right into the rest of us.
I fall on someone by mistake.
Remember, I told you I can only stop one way. But it's about being active, right? That active lifestyle. Yeah. But the restaurant, I wanted something healthy. I wanted something that grab and go, something good dollar value. I actually almost have nothing to do with the restaurants anymore. I don't work at the stadium anymore. I don't work in this. I pretty much go there and get my food and I leave. Yeah. This other, job I have honored to be, it's more than a full-time gig. So I actually don't do anything with the restaurants other than eat the food and talk about it on your podcast.
So you've had to hire out and basically give the management up now.
Yep.
Was that hard?
No, I was ready for it.
Yeah.
I think I was ready for it, and my team was ready for it, and it was that transition, right? Like, I went from university to pro football to entrepreneurship, and that's wild. And then now I'm on to my next challenge in life, right? And my next passion project, I'd say, and working with Manitobans and working with people. I've always done that, and so I gladly handed it off to my guys. They're running the store really well, and I go eat food.
How has that transition been from, first of all, from a football player to a business owner, and then from a business owner to a politician? What was the most challenging part? 1 to 2, 2 to 3? And
which transition was the most challenging to start?
For sure this one.
This one,
without a doubt, this one. And I kind of say football was the hardest thing I thought I ever did, right? But football was for the most part is you work out, you eat well, you train hard, you lift a ton of weight, you watch film, you're going to pretty much control the outcome on the field for yourself. I can't control if the quarterback throws the ball, the wide receiver can't, but I can control if I beat the guy in front of me, right? And I watch film and I know what he's doing and I'm good. Yeah. So you're in control of that, right? Can't control the team, can't control the coaches, but I'm controlling myself. Then in entrepreneurship, whether it be restaurants or public speaking, whatever it may be, kind of the same thing, right? You have a good recipe, you have good food costs, you have good staff, you have good systems. You can control that. You can't control the people that come in the door, but the people that come in the door, if they like the product, they're going to come back. And they're going to come back. I remember when I opened January 21st, 2013. 13. 3 weeks.
Your anniversary.
Yeah, 3 weeks after my son was born. That was fun. 8 weeks after I lost the Grey Cup again. That was even more fun. But we opened in January, and we had like 200 people outside in Winnipeg in January wanting shawarma Khan. It was amazing. We sold out in like an hour.
That's awesome.
So people were really excited, and they like it, and they keep coming back. So you control that. Yeah. And what I'm learning in politics now is you don't really control anything. Like you do the best you can every day. I read all the files I can read. I understand. I meet with stakeholders. I hear what their concerns are, good or bad. And you understand the issue, and you articulate it the best you can. And it really almost doesn't matter to the general, like outside of me, right? Like I can control me, but you're always going to have people that either say good things or bad things. And you're like, but I'm doing the best I can, right? And I'm understanding it the best I can. So this has been a really different, and that's been the hardest thing for me because I'm no longer really in control of what's happening outside, right? I don't control the narrative once the words leave my mouth. Yep. You guys could edit this podcast to say whatever. I don't know, right?
Which we will.
100%. I love Doug Brown. He's the best. Right? You really don't control that stuff. So I do the best I can. I hope that people can see that, and I hope that the message gets out. And we don't control the media. Yeah, you don't control social media. Especially,
I know the government did control the media.
The federal government, Justin Trudeau does. Okay. Yeah, Justin Trudeau controls that. Justin, what are you doing, man?
He's staring at you.
Is it this one here? Justin.
Yeah, that's the camera.
Justin and Jag Meat. What are you guys doing? Like, I think that's crazy. Yeah, that is lunacy that you can't post that stuff online, right? And it's all censored. Yeah. So you don't control that. Well, they do. Not in Winnipeg, right? You can't control how people are going to respond to what you say. Yeah. You can't even say, what you want to say and it not be edited in the media or print or radio to soundbite, right? So you hope that what I've done in my 20 years here in Winnipeg, off the field, on the field, entrepreneurship, that would say, okay, well, this is what Obby really is, and this is what he's standing for. And you go from there. So this by far has been the most physically challenging because of the long hours, mentally challenging because, oh my God, I'm learning a lot and you have to, be aware of what the topics are. But it's also been, I think, one of the most fun other than like beating the guy up on the football field in front of you or like winning games.
Yeah.
It has been one of the most fun experiences and honorable experiences to like serve people. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So you've gone from football to entrepreneurship to conservative politician.
Yes.
A lot of players.
Correction.
Yeah.
Progressive conservative.
Progressive conservative.
And there is a big distinction.
It's provincial.
Provincial, yes.
Yeah.
But I think the progressive is really important, and that's why I'm proud to be a part of the Progressive Conservative Party.
Can you explain that distinction?
So that our viewers know the difference between a conservative party and a progressive.
Not even technically, but in your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's great. I tell a lot of stories. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Am I talking too much?
No, we're here to talk to you.
Yeah, but I'm a politician, though.
We're here till 6:30.
Yeah,
right.
6:30 we got till
7.
So
7:30 tops.
Yeah, I mean, I sleep here if you want. It's a good couch. I've slept on some other couches.
We got a bigger version of this couch in the other room.
Done.
So.
I'm in. So it's funny. I was in Vancouver this last weekend for our 20th football team reunion. Simon Fraser University. Doug Brown played at that school as well.
Yeah.
So we're there, and they asked me to MC the event, and I showed up, and they said, "Can you MC this event?" I said, "Okay, great, a politician."
Yeah.
So I get up there and I made a couple of jokes, of course, and talking about and they don't have progressive conservatives there. Everyone says, "What is that? What is that? What is that?" I think everyone will have their own take on what that is. There might be a textbook definition, but I'm not a textbook politician.
Yeah.
I believe the Progressive Conservative Party is conservative, fiscally responsible when it comes to finances, right? Yep. Making right decisions, growing the economy at the same time of supporting other sectors in the province. So being fiscally responsible, but being progressively social. We have to be progressively social. We have to help people in Manitoba and throughout Canada. And that is my motto, right? Like help people where you can,
yep.
Do the right thing when you can. Everyone comes to a different story, a different walk of life, but being progressive conservative to me means being fiscally responsible, accountable for where you're spending, what you're doing, how you're growing the province, what the future of the province looks like. I believe not only in a 4-year cycle, I've learned this in politics. Everyone makes a 4-year announcement and you're like, the world's not going to end in 4 years. Yep. What happens after 4 years, right? And then the next people come in and they throw out all the ideas, the baby with the bathwater. I believe we need to look longer than that. And then being progressively social, being progressively responsible, helping people is what we have to do as elected officials. And I'm not saying the Conservative Party doesn't do that or the NDP or the Liberals or whatever else, but to myself, those things are really important. And that's kind of how I explain it quickly, being fiscally responsible, smart with your decision making when it comes to spending, and then being progressively social.
So what I hear you saying is balancing a budget, but also providing social programs like healthcare, education 100%. At the same time. Do you think that the Conservative government, let's say in the province of Manitoba, has not done a good job of that in the past?
The Progressive Conservative Party?
Yes.
No, I
say
think
the PCs.
Yeah, or you can say the PCs. No, I think that's always kind of been our motto, and that's why we are PCs, right? We are progressively conservative. I think maybe it's whether it's been in the execution or whether it's been in messaging that to Manitobans and understanding where we're coming from, what we're doing, but also really being proud of that and owning that is who we are. And I believe that's who we are as a Progressive Conservative Party. I think 80% of Manitobans fit in there. I believe that everyone in this room, there's 5 of us, believe that, you got to run your household, you got to run your bank account, you got to run your job, wherever you're doing your business, and the province in a balanced budget approach, in a fiscally responsible approach. But you have to help people, right? You got to put food on the table. You got to make sure that that's affordable. Now, the problem comes is there's not enough money. Right?
Yeah.
There's never enough money, right? Like you're learning, they look at the federal budget. You
can't make everybody happy.
And you can't make everybody happy, right? So those are some tough decisions you have to make according to what you believe, morally, ethically, party-wise, provincial-wise, what needs to get done. So I think historically we have done that. And if you look at, again, I'm obviously partisan being a PC, but if you look at the last few years of what the Progressive Conservatives done and the 17 years prior when it was NDP, and just for the record, like I'm not a career politician, right? Like I've learned this stuff because I'm the average Joe sitting there.
Yeah.
Like I'm just the average guy who's sitting there who ran a shawarma shop.
You didn't grow up in this.
I didn't grow up in this at all. And I said, what is going on here? Like, how does the previous NDP government triple the debt at Hydro?
Yeah.
Like, how do you go billions of dollars over budget on projects? Like, how do you spend that money and not have accountability for it, right? How do you not balance the budget? I think maybe there was one time in the 17 years the budget was balanced, and previous PCs balanced it twice, I want to say, in the last 7 years. And that was coming out of COVID.
Yeah, because COVID would have hurt the last 2 years.
100% it would have. 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, there's still going to be a ripple effect of that. So I think we have, right? Can we do a better job? Yes.
Yeah.
We can always do a better job, and that's why I got off this. So I got off the bench, so to say, right? To say I need to be involved in this if I want to try to make Manitoba better.
So I have a question that we had planned to do much later in the interview, but it's kind of stemmed what you're talking about now. You are the MLA for Fort White,
correct?
So you can do only you can do a certain amount, but within a certain distinction of area.
Yeah.
Being that the last two leaders in Fort White have either become both the member of the PC, the head of the PC party, or the premiers in Pallister's case. Yeah. Is that your long-term vision?
Oh man, you jumped right to it. Hey, I thought they would get to this at like 5 o'clock. Right ahead. You're gonna leave it on a what's that cliffhanger? What do you guys say in the media world? Like leave it on the.
That's the fifth hardest question we have.
Oh, the fifth hardest. Oh man. Yeah. Look, right now it's an honor. Honestly, it is. Like I said this earlier, and I know you guys want to go here. It is great, amazing to wake up to know that you represent 25,000 people in the riding of Fort White, right? Yeah. And you're their guy. They come to you with issues, and you try to help it. Now, a lot of people come to me. It's not, it's federal or it's municipal, or it's neither, and it's not even provincial. But you try to help people, right? I think that's what I really thrive on. I've always done that. Like I just. My dad did that. Like it literally, you learn people. Why'd you get into this? This is what my dad did. Immigrant family, dad. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, and it was always help, give back, help support. So that's the greatest honor. So right now it's Fort White, and I have an 11-year-old son, and that's the greatest thing in my life right now. Right. So those two things, the question on if I'm going to go forward in this, I don't know.
We have 3 years to make the decision, basically, right?
Well, no. So you have right now I'm going through a leadership race right now. Actually, it actually started. So October is the deadline for people to put their application packages in, and then our election is in April of 2025.
Okay.
So I got to decide by October. Well, no, you got to decide by October
of this year.
So like
that's only a
couple months away.
Has anybody already put their name in?
No one's put their name in right now. So you got to put your name in, and then you can't just go. You don't just sign a piece of paper. You got to get donors behind you. You got to get a couple hundred signatures. You got to get some. You got to pay a fee to enter that race, and then you got to get more people to support you. Got to go all around Manitoba.
They're all write-offs, though. Anyway, right? The fees.
Write-off.
You're a business owner. Just write it off.
Who writes it off? The government. Who writes it off?
Who writes it off? I don't know. The write-off people.
That's one of the greatest skits ever on Schitt's Creek. Eh? I love that. Great show, by the way. So I am looking at it. I think I would be lying to you guys if I said I wasn't, and I think most Manitobans know that. I've been clear that I wanted to wait till the rules come out. I want to see what the rules are. I'm now exploring that option, meeting people, talking to people, saying, hey, if I was to run, would you support me? Yeah. And what would you like to see done? What would you like to see as the Progressive Conservative Party? So I am having those meetings now.
Okay.
I mean, we could even carry on a meeting like now if we want on the radio, right? I would ask you guys, I am considering it. Yeah. It's an honor to be your name even in that hat. But what would you guys like to see? Like what would you like to see? So if I was to be the leader, honored to be the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, what would you guys like to see? But not only from the PC party, for Manitoba as a whole.
So now this is the Obby Khan show, and we're the guests.
See how I flipped that on you?
Flipping the script on us here.
Not bad.
Just quickly, everything's good. We're all good. Okay. So next question.
No. I asked you guys. I think that's fair. If we ask him questions and he has, we can answer the question. Yeah. So for me, I very much agree with not overspending.
Yeah.
I think that we agree with this that money can be thrown at programs far too often without seeing if it's actually having any benefit. Yeah. So balancing, like we both vote conservative pretty much 100% of the time.
Gotcha.
We both have an entrepreneurial mindset, which I think is why you go towards the PC party.
Yeah,
is because of the entrepreneurial mindset where you got to balance your budget.
Yeah,
you got to make sure that your expenses are taken into account and what you're making has to be taken into account, right? And I think that in the past, personally, when Greg Selinger was in charge, it kind of went downhill really quickly, and it hurt when the PCs came back into place, right? So I think the biggest question would be like, how would you go ahead and do that kind of stuff? And like, everybody wants to know, like, you know, do you cut hospitals? Do you cut schooling? Do you cut, you know, infrastructure? All that kind of stuff.
Totally.
You have to cut something.
I feel like how he just completely answered for like 2 seconds and then he threw it right back at you.
Flipped it.
He could be a politician.
I'm going to flip it right back. How much did you pay for those pants? Just completely get off topic here.
These are Old Navy, so they were on sale. Why do we keep going? I got to go take it off.
No, you're totally right. The entrepreneurial mindset, and I've taken that entrepreneurial mindset. Really, like football is kind of on, like you're always adapting and pivoting on the go. It's split-second decisions, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I love that type of atmosphere, and I've kind of grown up in that. Entrepreneurship, the same way. Running a restaurant, you're always adapting and learning and growing, and now when it comes to politics, you same thing, right? So you gotta take that outside the box thinking, right? You know, my answer to that would be that's a very big question, right? Like healthcare, infrastructure, I think immigration in there, education, all of it, right? At the end of the day, there is a finite amount of money, right? So you have to grow that pot, right, of money. And as an entrepreneur, I believe that we have to grow that. As a province, we have to grow that. Now, you know, the guy running the province now will say, oh, you know, the economic horse will pull the social cart. And as a progressive conservative, we have to have programming for that. We have to help that. But where's the economic engine? Like, how are you growing that? And if you look at this budget, if you look at what they've done, nothing in the last 9 months has been to grow their economy. Zero.
It's all to spend.
Like, I'm talking $0, and I'm the finance critic, so I can get into really deep numbers if you guys want on the province. And it's like, okay, you're spending a ton of money. Like, this NDP government has borrowed almost $10 billion in their first eight months in office. Billion. By comparison, the previous PC government borrowed about $9 billion in almost 8 years. And they're almost at 10 in 8 months. So there's some concerns there, right? There are major concerns and flags. What are you doing? How you spend? But how are you growing that economy? So you're right. Tough cuts, tough decisions need to be made. You have to grow that pot. How do you grow that pot? I mean, I could go on for hours on ideas on how we want to grow this province. We have some of the best natural resources in this country, if not the world, to help grow the economy. We have a great market to grow our economy. Cost of living is fantastic. That's one of the main reasons why I stayed here after I retired. I said, I don't want to move back to Vancouver, where I went to SFU. And pay $1 million for a house. I can pay half of that here for. Groceries, gas, everything is way more out there. I didn't want to go back to Ottawa, kind of for the similar reasons as Vancouver as well. And I loved it here. So I chose to stay here. So we have a lot of factors to grow, but what are they doing to grow it? And I haven't seen anything. Like, I haven't really seen anything, and that's concerning. That is so to me, grow that.
As an entrepreneur, that's the
that's the only thing I think of, right? Is how do we grow that? And then third, third is we have to think outside the box. And this is where I think the entrepreneur mindset comes in, is we have to look at things that we haven't done historically in this province and say, how can we grow that? We haven't done this before. What do we do? How can we grow it? How can we get more people to come here? How can
without
we grow
hurting the citizens?
Without hurting the citizens, while growing the economic engine of the province, and now allowing to support these social services, right? When I was a minister for a brief time, I was honored to be the Minister of Sport, Culture, and Heritage for a short period. We would have programs or ideas, and they would say, well, Minister Khan, we've never done that before. And I'd say, okay, so what? They go, well, we've never done that. No one's ever suggested that. And I'd say, okay, like, I hear you, but am I breaking the law? They go, no. And I go, am I breaking any rules? Am I going to get in trouble for this? Is there anything wrong I'm doing? They go, no one's ever done it before. And I go, great, so maybe we should try it. Like, let's do it. And lo and behold, we got it done. Right, we got it done. We did the $100 million into communities. Right, it was the arts, sports, culture, and community grant. $100 million, because coming into the pandemic, everyone was hurting. Right, like, let's forget about businesses and homes and stuff, but community centers, groups that play a vital role in our province, cultural centers, music clubs, dancing, arts, performance. They were all $100 million. And we got that done, and we rolled that out. And I was the minister honored to do that. Within 6 months, we rolled that out to over 900 applicants in this province. Never been done before. Never been done in that short time window. We got it done. You just got to think outside the box.
You've only been the minister for how long?
I was the minister for day one, and day 8, the first day in the PM, they said, now you're taking over this file. We got to get this done.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like a day. It was like rock and roll right away.
Yeah.
And we got it done.
Yeah.
Do you find that that's an issue in politics where you have a group of people who are kind of closed? This is how it gets done.
This is how we always did it.
They used to call it an always old boys club.
Yeah.
And that you need people like you who are not in that career politician
disruptors
path, who are disruptors. Do you find that's an issue? Do you find that there's not a lot of lone wolves, we'll call you, that are changing the system?
Yeah. So I think, first of all, there are a lot of great people that work in government, in bureaucracy, in the offices, and they do fantastic work. Like they are the people that keep this province going. So they do a lot of great work. They have a tough mandates. They do what they're told, and they get it done. With that, of course, I think we need people who can think outside the box, who can talk to Manitobans, listen to what they're saying, take it away, and actually make some changes. Right? Actually get stuff done that's going to make life in Manitoba better. And I think that, So I love that role. Right? I love the idea of sitting at the cabinet table or at a caucus table or meeting people, just saying, how can we look at this differently? We haven't done that. It's not breaking any laws, not breaking any rules. Sounds like a good idea. Let's try to get it done.
Right. Yeah.
An example is when I was minister, we did the combat sport bill. I don't know if you guys were aware of that last year. So when I was minister, we brought forward a bill to basically, I'll simplify it, but basically make the rules for amateur combat sports in the province under one regulatory body.
Okay.
Sounds common sense, right? You have combat sports, taekwondo. Well, taekwondo is different, but you would have boxing, you'd have kickboxing, jiu-jitsu maybe. You'd have Sikh and Us, you'd have various combat sports, MMA, that there was no regulatory body for them. There was just kind of willy-nilly things happening. It wasn't regulated. There wasn't an oversight body. It was actually illegal for amateur athletes to train and to compete in combat sports. Even though they've done karate their whole life or taekwondo or mixed martial arts, they could not compete here, so they're going out of province. Or they would go into these underground, literally fight clubs, and they'd have gyms closed with no regulation on them.
Yeah.
I said, what are we doing? How is this even possible? Like, this is about safety of athletes. Why are we not getting this done?
Yeah.
And literally, people inside our team, people outside, the clerks said, there's not enough time. You will not get this through first reading, second reading, third reading. You will not have committee. You will not have royal assent as when the bill is actually approved in 2.5 months. We've been trying to do this for 10 years. Previous NDP government didn't do it, and it took our government a while. And then I said, well, let's get it done. Shocking. We got it done in 2.5 months.
What was your learning curve?
My learning curve is still happening.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
That's why I got this guy sitting here every day. You
monitoring you.
You are drinking from a fire hose in this.
Does he have like a little shock button that it hit that?
Well, that's why I got my phone.
Let's
right
try
here,
it.
so
Okay.
I'm like, I'm just watching it here. Stop talking so much. But we got it done in 2.5 months, and now
fantastic.
in the province of Manitoba, now it's the Manitoba Combat Commission is going forward, and they're making these rules, and it's gonna be safe for amateur athletes to compete in this province. Now, some people might think that's not a big thing, but if you take that and you can extrapolate that to all other departments and say this is the type of thinking we need, along with the bureaucrats, along with the people who are working there who know the system, because I don't know the system very well. I have these ideas. We got it done together. That's what we need to do to go forward. Our healthcare system is struggling. We are spending historic amounts under the previous PC government, a billion with a B increase almost year over year in healthcare. And we were making some gains. We had the surgical diagnostic task force. I think we had over 85,000 Manitobans went through that program, got services, but the healthcare problem is still having problems, right? NDP ran on fixing it. We're going to fix it all.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 8 months, and the backlog's bigger than it's ever been.
Cheap.
Right? Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Action's needed.
You can do it you can talk about it all day the same way you can.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't just do the same thing.
You're right.
But like actions speak loudly, right? Like if you got that done in a certain amount of months when everybody else tried 10 years, that's an action. And that's what people want to see,
and that's
right?
that's
track
why
record.
That's why I got involved in this world of politics. I said we can do better.
Yeah,
we could do better in Manitoba. let's do better together. Let's hear what people are saying and let's get it done together. Because everyone has an equal place at the table.
Yeah.
Everyone has an equal concern. An issue in someone in healthcare might be as important. Someone issue is growing a business, and someone in immigration, someone in infrastructure, and someone, rural Manitoba versus urban Winnipeg. They're all valid. They're all important.
Yeah.
How do we balance that? How do we get it done together? Is something that I think we need a novel approach to, outside the box thinking, of working together collaboratively to get some stuff done, and that's why I'm honored to be here.
That's
So,
awesome. I'm gonna jump in here for a second.
Well, it's
Wow, look at you! You guys might fight.
Every time you jump in, it's
I have an
the
actual
exact
question
same
this
question.
time. No, I have a different question this
It'll be a
time.
different question.
So I have this one you haven't heard.
Okay.
I haven't even
What?
written it down.
Off script.
Off script. So it's just as I'm thinking about you taking on this role, I think about there has to be somebody that's given you like a mentorship or somebody that you've looked up to that made you want to take on this role. Who are the 3 mentors that you had in A, who got you into football?
Yeah.
B, who helped you out with entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
And C, who did you look up to as a politician that said, I want to be as that guy or better than that guy?
Oh man. Okay. So what was the first one in football?
So football. Who really pushed you in football?
Oh, football. Scott Hebner, hands down.
Okay.
Scott and Debbie, high school coach in Ottawa. So true story here. Long stories. So at this time in Ontario, we had grade 13. So grade 12, I played high school. Did well, All-Star Award, all that stuff. And I said, hey, coach, this is a different coach. I said, I want to go on to play in Div 1 down in the States. You're not good enough. You'll never do it, Obby. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You can't go to the All-Star game. We're not going to go to the All-Star game. You're not good enough to play in the All-Star game. You're not good enough to go to Div 1. Just stay in high school. I said, okay, well, that kind of sucks. I thought I was pretty good at one line, so I was pretty devastated by that. And then, so another team approached me in grade 13 and said, hey, why don't you come play for us? I could have stayed in high school, but I went to this other team and won a bunch of awards. At the end of that year, I went to the head coach and I said, hey, I want to go down to play Div 1. I want to play in Michigan, right? Ottawa, born and raised in Ottawa, right? So Michigan, like Notre Dame, right? Like, Syracuse, like type right up there. And coach says, you're not good enough. He goes, Obby, you're just not good enough. You don't have this, you don't have that. I said, man, 2 coaches told me I'm not good enough. So I said, okay, they must be right. So I quit.
Okay.
I quit football. I said, okay, I'm done. I'm going to go to Ottawa U. And I'm just going to go to, and I was a 90 plus student or something, and going to go to Ottawa U, humble brag right there. You see that? I didn't give the actual number.
We're going to put up your transcript right here. You can send that to me.
Wow.
No, I didn't say that. 96. It's fine. Doug Brown's 97.
Doug Brown's a solid C plus student.
No, he was at SFU, right? Okay. So I'll tell you. So then the coach, Scott Hebner, he's offensive line coach when I was the second team, and he goes, what's this I hear about you? You're not wanting to play football in university, and the coach says, you are good enough. He says, believe in yourself. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. And then, I don't know. And then I got a phone call from Simon Fraser University, and they actually said, we recruit on athletic ability and academics.
Okay.
It's a really great academic school, the best university in Canada, in my opinion. Unfortunately, they got rid of the football program, but that's another story. So got a scholarship there, and since that day, Scott, Coach Hebner, Scott and I have still been very close. He's been a mentor to me, helped me through university, all my injuries into the pros. I was out with him in Ottawa at my nephew's wedding, where I went back home to visit my mom and brothers, and my nephew was getting married, and he came to the wedding. Like, he's part of the family. So Scott Hebner for sure. And I think everyone needs that in their life, someone who just believes in them. Yeah. It doesn't matter about what it is, whether it's football or school or life or entrepreneurship, he's always just believed in me. Him and Debbie have always said, you can do it, we support you, whatever you need, we're there for you. And I think that has been, I don't even know how to put a word to that. Like, it has been, without that, I don't think I would be here.
There's no tangible, like, you can't put a
nothing
qualification.
The second one was, what was it, entrepreneurship?
Who was somebody that you looked up to in entrepreneurship, whether it's like somebody you don't know or like somebody you followed, like who pushed you into entrepreneurship?
So I don't think anyone really pushed me into entrepreneurship. It was just the mindset, right? It was like, I have a bit of a name in Winnipeg. I like the hustle and go. I like that. My mom says I picked the hardest careers in my life, and she's right. My mom tells me, number 1 draft pick by Ottawa, should have been a doctor. Number 1 draft pick by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, dispersal, should have been a doctor. Entrepreneurship, opened up 6-7 restaurants, should have been a doctor. MLA, should have been a doctor. Minister, should have been a doctor. And then the other day she goes to me,
Premier.
Son, wow. She goes, son, you picked the hardest jobs in the world, but I'm proud of you, but you should have been doctor.
So when you call her and says, I just became the premier of Manitoba.
Yeah, she's like, should have been doctor. So entrepreneurship wasn't really like anyone really pushed me into. It was more of a mindset, but it was actually the collective community of entrepreneurs. So it was a lot of business groups, right? Okay. So it was Futurepreneur, Joel Foster. It was the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce, meeting that network of people, the think tanks, North Forge, like here in Manitoba, just meeting these networks of people and young people, older people who just have these ideas and this passion. So that passion just kind of seeped into me, and you're always trying to grow and get better. Yeah. And then I was blessed to have a business group I was part of, Forum in Motion. And there's 9 of us in that group. We meet every month, and it has been the saving grace to my sanity in entrepreneurship. But there's a group of us, 9 of us. We meet every month. We go on trips together, and they have been just the absolute lifeline for me, because it's not always about business. Yeah. Right. It's not always about the bottom line. It's about personal issues. It's about managing that and how do you deal with those things. So entrepreneurship it's really a whole community of that in the business world. And that has really got me over the hump to where I am today. And the third one was?
Who is the politician that you looked up to that you wanted to be as good as or better than?
Well, and this wouldn't be a politician, but it'd be my dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a career politician, right? Like, I grew up and Craig Chang you watched a little bit, and Brian Mulrooney, may he rest in peace, and you're seeing what else is happening, around the world, and you just kind of pick up little bits here and there. You take a bit of entrepreneurship, Simon Sinek, you take some of his stuff, you take some leadership quotes, you put them in there, but it really was my dad, and nothing to do with politics, but it was about community. Okay. Like, we come from very humble beginnings, came here as an immigrant family. In 78, mom and dad, 2 suitcases and 2 kids. Yeah. I wasn't even born yet, right? Then my sister was born in Canada. Then I was born in Canada. From a very successful career my father had in Pakistan to coming here to starting at the bottom. Yeah. And worked his way up, and he always gave back. We were very, blessed family. We had a roof overhead. We always had a meal on the table, but by no means were we wealthy or even middle class, but always gave back. Yeah. Always went out and helped at food banks, or whether it be in the mosque, or whether it be at churches, my dad would do stuff like that, whether it be in the hospitals going to see people. It was always just giving back to the community. Then fast forward to my father passed away in 2008, but he ended up retiring in the early 2000s, and he ended up working for Jean Chrétien in Ottawa, right? So a pretty interesting story there. But my dad, always just community, help, give back, do the right thing. And he would always say simple things like, smile at someone. Yeah. You never know what a smile would do, right? And politics is really that. Yeah. So, you never know what smiling at someone does, or open the door for someone, because they have these preconceived notions of you. You're wearing a suit, and you're this and you're that, and you just talk to people like we're all humans. Yeah.
We heard a message at our church on Sunday, and it was basically, you know what? Just be kind.
Just be kind.
Just show you care, and the rest of the things will fall in place.
Everything else.
It's funny because the question actually was very similar that I was going to ask.
Apparently we have the same questions.
Because just listening,
even off topic.
Yeah, I know. Listening to you talk, it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's politics, whether it's football, whether it's running a business. The word that I was coming to my mind was driven. Like, you're driven. Yeah. You want to achieve something, and you want to hit a goal. Yeah. You want to help people, whatever it is. Yeah. And what I was thinking was, somewhere along the lines, there were some principles. Yes. And there were some values that were intrinsically put into you, either as a child, someone who's growing up. And that was my question. Who was that? And
bang on. Right. Yeah. You're totally bang on, right? So it doesn't matter what I go into in life. And I think a lot of people, it doesn't really matter what you go into. If you have that foundation, if you have those principles, the morality, the ethics, for me, it's faith as well, right? All those things combined together in this bag of Obby Khan or whoever else you are makes you who you are. So whatever you go on to, if you have those things, I believe you will be successful. And nothing comes easy. It's hard work. Like playing professional football, people be like, "Oh my God, that's so hard." Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I've had 9 major surgeries in my fingers, and you can see it's like they're not as bad as Wallabies, but they're broken. 4 knee surgeries, back, tricep, neck. Like, it was hard. Yeah, but you put the time in.
If I want to change topics a little bit, and it's been awesome talking to you, getting to meet you. It's been great. So we have a question. This is the first question that we ask every one of our guests. but sometimes it happens in minute 14, and sometimes it happens,
minute 54.
54. If I strip,
no, we're not at minute 54.
I was going to say,
yet.
wow, that's time flies with you guys.
If I take away, you cannot say any of the professions that you've done, as an answer. But who is Obby Khan?
Who is Obby Khan?
If you were to write your mantra today,
that wasn't on the script.
You
guys never gave me. Did you guys give me an email? I didn't see it. I actually don't like to see those things because I like to go in and give actual real give real genuine answers. What comes to mind? Who is Obby Khan? I would say Obby Khan is just a guy who cares and wants to do better and help people do better. Like really, it's just a guy who just wants to do the right thing and try to help people do better and do better on my own. Like I think that would be it. Just a caring, giving guy. Like I'm always, again, principles given into you my dad, right? Like really, this is ingrained in us. Just give, and whatever you give, you'll get back in tenfold. And I'm not talking money here because by no means do I have any money. Owning restaurants in pandemic was not good.
No.
But there's more to the life than that, right? It's the friendships. It's people. It's those relationships. It's the change you might make in someone's life by just saying hi to them, opening the door, asking them how their day's going. It's honestly, Obby Khan is just a guy who wants to try to make people better, try to make people smile. Yeah. I'm a big joker. I like to have fun. I try to make people feel nice and warm and cuddly. But also, if you're on the ice with me, I'm going to mess you up.
Maybe I shouldn't get on
I thought
ice.
you were all like, are you okay? Kind of ice hockey.
Depends if you guys,
Depends
if you're winning.
If you're winning. So
yeah, I think it's just, that's what I don't know if that's really an answer.
You mentioned Simon Sinek earlier.
Yes.
And I follow a lot of his stuff and I really like a lot of his concepts. Yeah. What is your why then?
Oh, what is my why? Man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone knows what's your why. What's your why?
A lot of people know what they want to do, but why do you want to?
No, and I don't know what I want to do. That's the thing, because I think that's why I would switch, right? I'm always switching from football to entrepreneurship to different businesses, to different business models, to now politics. My why is just to really do better. Like just do better in everything. Like try to make people around you better. I don't even know if that's the answer. I'm gonna give the why. And I've read that book. I've listened to the podcast 100 times where he draws a circle and works his way out. And that is vital to what we are. What is your why? Yeah. And I think my why I'm in politics is because I think my why is we can do better as a province. Yeah. We can do better as a people. We can do better as a community. We can come together without special interest groups taking priority over others. Without your own agenda of, helping so-and-so over so-and-so, like really we can do better together. And I think really my why in politics was I just think we can do better as a team, as a province. Awesome. Forget the party stuff aside. Like as a society of people, I think we can all agree that we should have certain minimums and we should be able to help and provide those for people, period. Yep. Unequivocally in Manitoba where we live, in Canada where we live. And we're not doing that right now. And I think we can. I don't see a reason why we can't. We need to have a novel approach and we need to think about everyone, not just a certain group, right? Not these people need, this group needs money or their contract's up, or this project needs to be built because so-and-so lives there, or this one needs to get done because so-and-so said this. No. What is the holistic approach to Manitoba? How do we get it better?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Do you want to take a minute to do the segment you want to do?
We're going to do a new segment.
Sure.
This is a segment that was built just for you.
Push-ups.
No. Well, we do have a...
It's called First Impressions.
Okay.
We're going to show you some pictures on the screen, and we want to get your first impression of what you think when you see this photo.
It better not be photos of me because I've gone through a lot of changes.
Oh, they're all.
We're going to see here.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Oh man, I knew it. I'd say that first impression is, what the hell am I doing? I'm going to get killed. And I think
I got your rookie year, probably, right?
Yeah, number 65, Ottawa Renegades. So that literally is like, look at me. Like, oh my God, what is going on? And I think that's how I played every down, eyes wide open, being like, oh my God.
And you always played center, right?
No, I played in Ottawa. Joe Pow, love him. Yeah. He had me playing everywhere, and I think that's being versatile.
That's why your eyes are like that?
Yeah. I played right tackle, right guard, left tackle, and a bit of center. So I kind of played all over. I also played tight end. Yeah.
I remember that.
I played tight end for a couple plays in games, and Kerry
You were
Joseph.
Gronk before Gronk.
And I wish 300-pound Gronk. That guy's so handsome.
But the best thing that ever happened to the Renegades was they folded, so you get picked up in the dispersal draft for Winnipeg, and the
and the only trivia. Who is the only player in? I like how I ask you guys questions in the history of the CFL to ever be drafted twice second overall?
Is it going to be you again?
Obby Khan.
All the questions are always Obby Khan.
You can't give us the answer right away.
Well, I mean,
let's go to the next picture.
one.
Oh, that's one of the proudest moments of my life. My little guy. His name is Sufyan. That was, I believe. So what am I thinking there? First impression, just pride.
Yeah.
Pride and joy of sharing that moment with my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Next.
Oh. Oh, this is a hilarious story. That's my Nissan Cube. Did you guys see the commercial for this Cube? It's on YouTube.
I don't. Well, let's pull it up. We'll look for it.
It's
and
hilarious.
If we find it, we'll put it on right now.
It is hilarious.
Okay.
It's so a good friend of mine did that commercial. So played for the Bombers. Nissan was a sponsor. They wanted the year before they got me a big Nissan Titan, Wrath of Khan on it. And then this year they said, let's go a little funnier. Let's get a Cube. So I had Nissan Cube. So
big guy getting out of a small car.
Wow, the commercial. I think there's 3 or 4 offensive linemen that went to the dealership with me, and I was like, "You tell me what other car you can get 1,000 pounds of meat in a car comfortably." And they got all these offensive linemen jamming into the Nissan Cube. So, great memories. I'm Obby Khan, your center for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and this is my Nissan Cube. I love this baby. It's stylish, tons of room, great on gas. It's got tons of storage. It's got a great sound system. It's got Bluetooth, rear view camera. It's a great car. Chicks dig the car. Chicks dig me. It's a win-win. But the best part is I can roll with my boys wherever we want to go. I got Kelly Butler and Andre Douglas right here. Hey, Obby. What's up, boys? We'll take a ride in the Cube. Now you tell me where else you can get 1,000 pounds of meat in just 3 seats. Nissan Cube, I love it. When I met William Shatner with this,
No,
yeah,
really?
So I had him sign. I'm a big Trekkie and a Star Wars guy, so I went to the Comic-Con and I actually showed him the commercial. You guys listen, pull it up, you'll see it.
We'll pull it up.
And I took a shot at him in the commercial with the new Star Trek movie. I was like, yeah, Shatner, you suck so much that J.J. Abrams didn't even want you in his new Star Trek movie. And then I show him the commercial, so yeah.
Okay, I think we got one more.
I am looking for a part-time job as a salesperson at the Bomber store. So those are all the Wrath of Khan t-shirts we made up when I played. And obviously you can see the marketing merchandise guy is genius there.
Yeah.
He puts those shirts first, so everyone sees them when they came in. So it was a great time.
For one day, Tim, that shirt was the only shirt on the front of every peg. Because Obby came in the morning after his after the practice and just replaced every shirt.
Every shirt.
Yeah.
I put every shirt of the Wrath of Khan on there.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
I think Jeffrey Bannon then just gave them away.
Yeah, I mean, he told me they sold out, but we'll say sold out. It's a better story that they sold out. Do
you have that shirt still?
I do in a box somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't fit me anymore because I was a 3XL back in the day.
Yeah,
and now I'm an XL. So
it's still a good workout shirt.
It's a good workout shirt. It got the long hair going there.
Yeah.
Nomads football, supporting Nomads. That's right. Yeah.
That old Bomber store. Remember that Bomber store?
It was a great. I love that stadium.
It was just a shot through right into the stadium.
I loved it. I always played on the field, so I never got to go to the bathrooms and see the magnificent trough. So one game I was injured, and I was like, I got to see this thing before my career is over, and they ripped the stadium down. So it was during a game, and I was injured, and I just walked through the concourse, and I was like, this is the majestic, world-renowned peeing trough.
In the winter, when we worked in that store, the bathrooms in the stadium were closed because of the freezing pipes.
That's
and everything.
Right. I remember that.
So we had to walk all the way from the store to the office to use the bathroom.
You could have used the bathroom in our locker room.
It's right beside the office.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Back in the day, the office and the locker room were almost the same spot.
There was a trough recently.
Cubs at Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field.
Oh,
last weekend. There's a trough there too. Yeah.
Still a trough there. Not the same as our trough.
No. Well, it was aluminum.
It's very similar, actually.
Is it really?
It was aluminum.
So the trough was bought by a friend of mine, Chad Young. His family owns Toledo Foods, a local Manitoba company.
Yeah.
And they were like, when everything came up for bid for auction, they bought the trough. And I said, why would you buy a urinal that's like 20 feet long? And they said, because it's part of Manitoba history.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
The one problem with the Jets trough was it was tile, right? It was a cement trough with tile, so they actually just smashed it.
They don't know what they're doing there. Yeah.
They spent way too much money on their bathroom there.
Good memories here.
Yeah, that was fun times there for sure.
So I have a question. That's what we do here, ask questions. But I don't know my premise here with I have a question. I'm allowed. I have to say that so that Greg doesn't jump in with another question.
Hey, he's been cutting you off.
Yeah,
have I?
Yeah. So Greg, what's your question? Sorry, go ahead.
That's what our show should be called. Cuts me off. Anyway, the other word I was thinking, I said driven before.
Yeah.
Disciplined is another D word that I would say to describe. Yeah, exactly.
He's funny.
No, he's not that funny. I mean,
you forgot your question.
I haven't forgotten anything.
Okay.
In all your endeavors.
Yeah.
Because of those two things.
Yeah.
How much has your religious beliefs helped you and steered you into those two things, driven and discipline?
Oh. He's got some really good questions. Like, you got some fun questions, and some memory lane questions. He gets deep questions here.
Yeah.
So, I would not be where I am without my faith. Period. I mean, you can say like I got Scott and Debbie spoke about my father, and again, it's a mix of all these things that get us to where we are today.
Yeah.
But my faith has really been important to me. It is, a sense of guidance. It's my compass, right? Morality, ethics, how you treat people. And, some people don't need faith for that. Some people do need faith. But also discipline within the faith, to me, has been so important. And discipline in the sense that, we pray 5 times a day. To me, that's very important. To thank the universe, to thank the Creator, to thank God for everything we have. To take 5 minutes in your busy day and just take time for yourself to reset yourself. The discipline to do that in a hectic day has got me through some really tough times and some really good times. To take that moment and be acknowledge and pause for all the good we have in our life. The discipline of Ramadan. Of fasting for 30 days of no food and water from sunrise to sunset. Tough. You guys should try.
So I don't know. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that you eat after sunset?
Yeah, so you can eat from sunset to sunrise, but once the sun rises, and it changes every year. So every year our calendar moves 10 days forward because in our calendar it's a lunar calendar, so 355 days, solar calendar 365 days. So every year we move 10 days forward. So this year it was, sun was up at 5 a.m. So I'm up at 4 a.m. making breakfast, eating, drinking a bunch of water and Pedialyte, and then I don't drink anything or eat anything until sunset, which is like 7 p.m.
Oh wow.
Right, so then at 7 p.m. you're having that first, and to take that first sip of water and just feel it nourish your body, that discipline, right, to get you through those days, which ties into the gratefulness of just having water and food and the life we live here. My faith in how to treat people, how to interact with people, the need and the compulsion within our faith, the mandatory we have to in our faith, give charity. Do charity work. Like it's one of our pillars of our faith is you got to give back, right? That is, and charity, you don't have to have money to do charity.
Yeah.
Right? You can smile at someone, like I said, right? You can open the door from someone. You can ask someone how their day's going. You can pick up a piece of garbage from the ground and put that in the garbage. Yeah. These types of things that are always in my mind that have shaped who I am through my faith. Now, again, you don't always need faith for that, right? But for me, it was faith. For me, it was my connection with God, my belief that we are here to do better. We are here to do more. And we're here to leave the place, leave the world, hopefully in a better place than what we were born into. At times it doesn't look that way.
Yeah.
Right. At times it really doesn't. And maybe that was a bit of my calling towards politics, right? To we can all do better together. So, it's been really important to me. And, and I say faith because everyone has their own different ways of it, right? Like, whether you're Christian or Muslim or Jewish or, you're indigenous or you don't even believe in maybe a creator, you believe in like the energy or the universe, whatever there is, there's something within, I believe, all of us that calls us to do good work. And for me, it was faith. It was my connection with God. It was my discipline in my faith and following those commandments, those issues through to live a better life for not only myself, but hopefully for everyone that gets to know me.
So is do better together? Is that your slogan for your campaign?
I'll check if that's trademarked. If not, then can we get on the trademarking right away?
Because we were the ones that inspired it, do we get some kind of commission?
Well, I mean,
commission or kickback? Or...
Well, you know what? I'll say this. So, next year, I would welcome you guys to maybe do a day of fasting with me.
Yeah,
do a day of fasting with me.
We've actually talked about fasting, and we understand.
Yeah, so I think if you guys were, to do it with me just for a day, you don't have to do it the whole month, just one day, sunrise to sunset. I will take you out for an all-you-can-eat buffet at one of my restaurants.
Done.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm in.
Done. Let's do it. There you go. We got it on camera. They win it from sunrise to sunset.
Can we do this for all 30 days?
If you do, I will feed you how about this? Every day you fast, I will feed you.
Okay.
We'll alternate.
I will feed you. So again, and part of our upbringing is it's actually an honor for me to feed you.
Yeah.
Right? It's a blessing for me to feed you because you've gone through that sacrifice and that discipline all day. For me to be the one that provides you that meal that nourishes your body that you can then go on and do good from is a blessing to me. So I will feed you every day you fast. I will feed you and your family and anyone else that really wants to do it. I mean, maybe I'll throw that offer out there.
Make it a challenge.
Yeah, I'll throw that offer out there. If people want to fast, I will feed them at the end of that fast.
We're in.
Yeah. When it comes to food, I'm always in.
Yeah, well.
See, now what you guys don't know, what you don't, technically what you don't know is as you fast all day, your stomach shrinks.
Yeah.
So you can't eat a ton, but you guys already shook hands.
I don't eat a ton. Like if the money's not well spent at a buffet because I just don't have it.
Yeah. So,
well, he doesn't eat carbs.
Look at him. He's got an 8-pack on him.
8?
Yeah, 8-pack.
No, I do not have any. I have that, but yeah.
So faith has been very important to me, and I love and I respect that other people have their ways of doing it, and that I think brings us together. People want to use that to bring us apart. I actually think it brings us all closer together. From wherever background you are, whatever walk of life you are, however you want to view it, it brings us all together because we all have that same common goal of making everyone around us better.
So we only have a few minutes left.
That is an awesome answer.
Yep.
And we like I said, we understand that your time is limited here, and we have about 10 minutes left.
Yep. So I do want to do this or that, but I want to do just the ones that are very specific to him.
Sure.
So we do a thing called this or that, where you pick one or the other, and when you pick one, the other one disappears from your life forever.
Okay.
Oh man!
So you're picking these as if you're never going to see the other one again.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Go.
And then after that, we've got 3 very quick questions for you.
Done.
That are very good staples for the end of the show. Here.
Love it.
So we're gonna I'm gonna do this or that. Is that okay?
You go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys on that? Is it I got to pick between you two?
This is we're not.
Yeah.
On that.
But
I got to pick between Tim and Greg. That'd be awkward.
That'll be the last
Greg's
one.
beard or Tim's beard? Yeah, there we go.
I like the rust.
Okay.
I like the rust ginger.
We're gonna go interviewing as a player or as a politician.
And the other one goes away forever. A politician.
Okay, so then you'd never be interviewed as a player ever again.
Yep.
Okay, playing football or running your own restaurant?
Playing football.
Jets or Senators?
Oh man, right in the leadership race coming up. That's a tough
Manitoba. Come on. You're not living in Ottawa.
I would take immense joy. So is this I got to pick the team? The other team's gone forever.
Yes.
Like they just disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
They move to California and they become the Golden Seals.
Winnipeg for my son.
Okay, he is a big Jets fan.
Huge Jets fan.
Okay, watching football, CFL or NFL?
CFL.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I put a caveat in there?
Yeah.
If the production value of the CFL just got a little bit better, they still use the same name bar, the same graphic name bar that I played with in 2006.
But
it's literally
now.
it just changes. Yeah, it's HD. Yeah, exactly. Just update the graphics.
One day it'll be in 4K.
Put some
that name bar.
That's one of the first things I'll do is we'll put 4K in the CFL. Just update the production value. Get some fun music, some robots fighting, maybe some robot airplanes,
like the Fox one.
Yeah,
if they had Greg and Tim on top of it, we would have changed.
But I love the CFL game. Love it.
Yeah.
Superhero
ability, invisibility, or being able to fly.
Fly.
Okay. If you were able to travel in time, 100 years into the future or 100 years into the past?
Future.
because you want to figure out who wins all the World Series.
And then go back in time.
Yeah.
I just gotta get the 1.21 gigawatts
Great
somewhere. As long as the
sports.
gigawatts
Oh
are
my
available in
God,
there, and so, as long as I can get those in a hoverboard somewhere, we're good to go.
The hoverboard would be sweet. If you get one, bring it back.
I'll bring you guys both one back. So, yeah.
So are we done with questions?
Yeah, here's Tim's 2 favorite questions.
And am I allowed to ask my other question or no?
I don't know what your other question
Yeah,
is.
the other one. Anyway,
So I got them both up there.
the best 3 places to go in
And
Winnipeg.
you can't say your own restaurant.
to go to Winnipeg on a date / with friends.
The best restaurants only, or just
no, it can
anywhere?
be anywhere.
Any places in Winnipeg. Best places in Winnipeg.
And let's say Manitoba too.
And Manitoba.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a tough one. There's so many. Honestly, there are so many great places in Manitoba. Like really. People really give Manitoba a hard time. When I was in SFU or Vancouver and I got here, and I'm like, there is amazingness outside the perimeter within Winnipeg. So that's a really loaded question. I mean, Churchill, Manitoba, but that's a pretty expensive date if you're going to go on a date up there. The Cinnamon Park, the Conservatory, the Leaf, that whole
The Leaf, yeah.
the whole,
Leaf
the
is
whole
amazing.
really the previous government put a lot of resources behind that. Just plug. Date wise or dinner wise, oh man,
If there was one restaurant that you would go to any day of the week because it's your favorite restaurant, other than Shawarma Khan.
Can we come back to that at the very end? Can I think of that restaurant?
This is the very end.
This is the very end?
Yeah, you got 5 minutes.
Time flew.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, there's so many great ones, right? Whether it's Mona Lisa or Hearth or you're having a good time at the King's Head. Like, I mean, I could ride 4 Crowns. Like, Silver Heights is Tony and the guys. Like, oh, my God, the ribs, like the guys there and Tony. Like, I could not pick one. I would refuse to pick one. I would just say I'm not picking one.
So those are all great restaurants.
Enotek, the Clay Oven. There's so many great restaurants.
You just like saying all of them so that they all know.
I know that they all know I love them.
That's the
I
politician.
couldn't just pick one. I could not pick one restaurant. I won't do it.
The politician in him.
But you gave us several good ones, so I'll take that answer.
Okay.
And I only asked that because I need new data ideas.
Yes.
All the time from all my guests. The person dead or alive that you would love to have a 20-minute conversation with in history anywhere. It could be anybody.
I mean, I would say Isa. You guys know what Isa is? Jesus.
Okay.
I would say, dead or alive, you said, in anyone in history. I'd say I want to talk to Jesus.
So we've had a few people on. You know Lauren Coral, right?
Yes.
The chaplain.
Of course.
He also said Jesus.
Yeah.
And we corrected him by letting him know that Jesus is always with you.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
So
we've actually eliminated Jesus.
Okay, so he's gone from that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You guys got me. You said, well, that would be an amazing one, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
that would be fantastic.
But you do need to pick somebody else.
I do need to pick somebody else. Like, I mean, again,
we didn't preface it this time, but
you didn't. Dead or alive? You guys can cut out like the awkward pauses and stuff.
We'll
like,
cut out
so
all the
so
awkward
we'll
stuff.
say, okay, so
or we'll make it longer.
We
one or
love the
other.
awkward pauses.
Dead or alive? No one really alive right now I want to talk to. If you want to talk to me, you can just message them or get their contact somehow. I mean, people want to say their parent. My father passed away, but he passed away in 2008. But we all gotta die sometime, and he passed away at a younger age of 63. But it was a blessing. He got to say bye to all of his kids. We knew it was coming. It was cancer, but I think his passing on was like a real blessing in life and the world, and you got to go on. So, I mean, someone of historical, massive significance, like. I don't think you guys can just get rid of Jesus there. I think I can bring that back. I mean, as a man of faith, like I would probably say, like Moses, Abraham. I'm gonna say Abraham.
Okay,
and
That's awesome.
my name is actually Abraham.
We did know
so my real name is actually Ibrahim, which is Arabic for Abraham. So I would say I would want to meet Abraham, man of faith, or Abraham Lincoln. 2 Abrahams right there.
There you go.
Those are all great answers.
Tie those both back in together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Napoleon, someone like the people of history, right?
Yeah.
No,
those are good.
Those are all great answers.
Yeah.
And we have one final question for you. If you were to talk to 10-year-old Obby Khan,
Yeah,
and give them one piece of advice,
Yeah.
what would that be?
Easy. Always be kind. Easy. Always do the right thing.
Okay. That's an easy answer.
Easy answer.
He knows that's basically his theme for the whole episode so far. Yeah. He's been very nice to me and your beard.
Now,
my pants.
Now, some people might say that. Say, well, hold on, Obby, you weren't always nice on the football field. And you're right, because that was my job, right? My job was to physically beat someone up and attack.
But what I've heard is some of the most rough individuals in sports.
Yeah.
Off the field are some of the nicest guys in the world.
And same thing in politics, right? Like politics, like in the House and the Chamber, my job as the finance critic is to hold the government accountable. So people, what they may see is, Obby, you're not being very kind and you're not being very nice. Okay, well, my job is to hold you accountable, right? Like outside the chamber, we can go have food together. We can go to one of the many restaurants in Manitoba. I'd be more than happy with anyone on the opposition side like that. But in the chamber, my job is to hold you accountable. So what may not seem kind on social media or in the media of me going at them for issues is, I want to talk to you about why you're doing X, Y, and Z, because that's my job. My job isn't to be kind to you. My job is to hold you accountable. Me, Obby Khan, as a human being, I always try to be kind.
And for what I've seen, paying attention to you, you do things the right way, where I would say you were being kind, even though you were doing your job.
Genuinely.
And some other people, they can do the same job. But they can do it in a ugly tone, and I've never seen that.
I try to have fun with it too. I try to have fun with Minister of Finance. You know, I think he's had 87 questions he hasn't answered for me in a row. So I have a little counter in the chamber. I'm writing it down on a sticky note.
You should get one of those flipboards.
Yeah, I tried, but the speaker said I couldn't bring that into the house. You know, not to have
get an electronic one.
You're not allowed
to have props at all.
No props at all. So what I do is I bring a sticky note. I write it on the sticky note, and after he doesn't answer it, I just show it to him. And then
what about sunglasses? Can you wear sunglasses?
Yeah, you can wear sunglasses at night.
So you
okay.
Let's roll the Corey Harts. And that's a great way to end the interview. I'd like to thank Obby Khan for being our guest today.
We appreciate this.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And don't forget, we have new episodes coming out every Monday. Sometimes it's just me and Tim. Sometimes we have somebody like Obby on. It's fantastic. We enjoy this. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment, all those fun things. And thanks for watching. And thanks again, Obby. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Next year, fast.
We will do it.
Shawarma.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're in.
Have a good day.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.